Hey guys, let's brew a honey pumpkin beer. Okay, so a while ago I received a box with ingredients to make a honey pumpkin beer. These ingredients come from a guy who calls himself Brewthirty on YouTube, and he sent me, his first name is Dave, and he sent me, the ingredients and the instructions. Of course, they've already gotten wet because I've been preparing to make the beer. Of course, that happens, and that's part and parcel. So. Now, this is a honey pumpkin beer. A lot of people are saying, hey, add some nutmeg or some chives or some this or that, cinnamon, whatever. I'm not going to do that this time. This is my first pumpkin beer, so I'm going to do the basic, ingredients and recipe that he sent me, that he tells me it's delicious. So why don't we take a look at the ingredients and see what we've got. Okay, we got 3.5 pounds of Superstructure IPA malt extract, 1 pound light dry malt extract, 2.9 ounce cans of pumpkin, 2 pounds honey, 1 pound brown sugar, 1 ounce Warrior Hop Pellets, 1 ounce Simcoe Hop Pellets, 1 ounce German Hallertau Hop Pellets, 1 ounce UK East Kent Golding Hop Pellets, USO5 yeast, and Whirlfloc Tablet for clearing. All right, so I've got about 12 liters of water here in the pot. Going to turn this on and bring this to a boil. Let's give this a whirl. And of course, with all brewing sessions, a home brew. It's optional, but recommended. Okay, you can hear that my pot of water is coming close to a boil. It's getting very hot. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add the liquid malt extract, the dry malt extract, the honey, the brown sugar, and the can of pumpkin puree. These are going to go for most of the boil. And the first thing I always do when I'm doing this, if you've got dry malt extract, get your water off the boil so that the steam isn't so intense. Otherwise, this will clump up on the edges. And always add your dry malt extract first, because it has the hardest time dissolving. And the burner is off, and although it doesn't look like it. Whoops. It's still kind of hot. The burner's still cooling off, but we've got a little bit of a hot break there. I'm taking it off the burner just a bit here, and we'll dissolve this dry malt extract first. So we're not boiling at the moment. We've just got the water to the boil. We've turned it off, and we're going to add these fermentables. Okay, there's that. There's the liquid malt extract. That goes in, sorry, the dry malt extract goes in first. Then we're going to add the liquid malt extract. Now, I did not heat these things beforehand, so they're going to be a little thick. The heat is off, so I'm not risking burning this to the bottom. And I will rinse these things out, these containers, afterwards to get all the, everything out of them, because this is very concentrated. For now, that will do. And again, I will rinse that out in a minute. Then we're going to add the honey. Okay, this is, I guess, your store-bought whatever honey. Whatever brand you like. Get that out of there. So again, we'll rinse that one out as well. And next we have 1 can of pumpkin puree, not both of them, just the one. I'm being very careful because this could splash me. That's hot. Now you could use, whoopsie, just like that, got my hand. You could use pumpkin puree that already has spices in it, which would work if you want those other spices that we mentioned earlier. And that would work as well. But this is more of a pumpkin honey pumpkin. So I guess we're emphasizing the combination between those two ingredients. That's pretty much it for that. Get as much of that out of there as we can. That's it. Now, the last thing we're gonna add right now, a lot of stuff going into this, is the brown sugar. Oh yeah. And the pot's getting pretty full. So make sure if you're doing something like this, the way I'm doing it, don't put too much water in the pot to start with, because you're adding volume to this as you're adding ingredients. And I'm not sure if you can see what I'm seeing, but the orange color of that wort is beautiful. And it's only going to get oranger once we add the other can later on. Now that's good. So I'm going to rinse out these containers to get everything out of them. We're going to bring this up back up to the boil, and we're going to add our first hop addition. Look, some of the pumpkin isn't dissolved yet. So we got to make sure we get all that dissolved. So that's what we'll do, and we'll be back when it comes time for our first hop addition. Cheers. We just want to rinse out these containers to get everything out of them. We're working with hot water here, so watch yourself, because this can build up pressure, okay? I found this out the hard way. Okay, it looks like we're getting close to the boil here with all those ingredients in there. We gotta watch for a boil over at this point. In fact, I can see it's starting to get higher. Looks like I'm gonna need to use a wort chiller for this to get this down in temperature after we're done, or at least a sink full of ice water if that's all you've got. And our first hop addition is 1 ounce of Warrior, going in as soon as we reach the boil and get this thing under control. And then we're on our way. There's 3 more hop additions, actually 2 more after this, and one of them is a dry hop, which will happen later, and we'll film that. I gotta get to this. Look, it's rising. We gotta control this. Oh yeah, baby. Turn the heat down. Yeah. We don't want a boil over. Okay. So I just lifted off. I've got an electric stove here, so I just lifted off the burner on one side here and just stir it and turn down the heat. And that helps a lot. And once this is done, this is kind of like a thunderstorm. It doesn't last very long, but it's quite a thing when it happens. It smells great so far. Yeah, it looks like we've got a good boil there. Now I'm gonna use a hop bag. He supplied one, and I've stretched it out as much as I can to make sure the hops have lots of room. And because there's 3 hop additions during the boil, I don't want all that hop debris in the wort, so we're going to use a bag this time. I don't usually use one, but in go the 1 ounce of Warrior, and we were looking at the time. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm looking at the time right now, and we're starting the clock right now for a 1 hour boil. This can cause a bit of a hot break too, or a foamy reaction. So you turn on your heat, let it, see? Just gotta control it. If you have a propane burner, you can do it real quick. But on an electric stove, you do it this way. You just tilt the pot, turn down the heat, and you can get her going. No problem. Boom. Okay, so now I've got about 40 minutes left before I have to add the next hop addition. That means I've got that time to go downstairs, sanitize my fermenter, and spoon and whatever else is going to touch this, and set a timer so you don't forget. And that'll all be done so that when things come down to the crunch at the end of the boil, I won't be rushing around like a chicken with my head cut off, as I've done before, and I'm sure we all have. So we'll see you back here in about 40 minutes for the next hop addition. All right, guys, it's been 40 minutes since we added the first hop addition. Now it's time to add our East Kent Goldings 1 ounce to the bag. And I'm almost tempted to add this straight in, but I'll do it in the bag. Whoops. Doesn't matter if some of them actually get into the thing, but there we go. Let them get down inside there and do their thing. Okay. Now in 10 minutes, another hop addition our last can of pumpkin puree, and of course the wort chiller. If you haven't got a wort chiller, you can't use one, right? So you get yourself a sink full of ice water and you do this the best you can with what you've got. We got one more hop edition coming up in 10 minutes. I'll see you there. All right, here we are back. 10 minutes later, we got 10 minutes left in the boil. We're gonna add in our pumpkin puree. Gotta be careful not to splash myself here. This could take the boil down a bit, yeah. You know, you gotta take into consideration that the boil's gonna die down just a bit there. Let's get as much of this as we can. Okay, and now, next we're gonna add the, where did it go? There it is, the Whirlfloc Tablet for clearing. That in all its glory. There we have it. Give that a stir. And it's now time to add the wort chiller, because I'm using a wort chiller this time, and I'm not sure how this is going to work with this big bag of hops we've got in here. Well, let's see if we can get this to... Ah, yeah, there we go. And finally, our last hop addition, which is our German Hallertau. Actually, I'm going to wait till this comes to a boil before I do that. Okay, since I added the pumpkin puree, this thing has gone down in temperature. Now, because I'm brewing this in the kitchen, I have the convenience of being able to run hot water through my wort chiller. So when I put that in, it doesn't bring the temperature down so much. But adding the pumpkin puree has brought this down quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead, without waiting too much longer, and add my German Hallertau hops right in. I'm not going to put them in the bag. Okay. And we're going to give this 10 minutes more on the stove, which is a little bit more than it's supposed to, but because it's not quite at the boil, just going to give it a bit longer. And then we're going to turn on the wort chiller and put her in the fermenter, top her up. It's been about 5 days. We're going to open this up and we're going to dump in some Simcoe hops. 1 ounce. Dry hopping. There we go. It's as simple as that. So that fermented for an extra week or so, and I kegged the beer, and guess what? Here we have it.
in all its glory. Look at that. Oh, it's delicious. Look at the carbonation on the side of the glass. Beautiful. A little bit foggy. Not a problem. Nice head retention. Smells delicious. I can smell the hops. It actually smells like an IPA, to tell you the honest truth. There's quite a strong hop presence here. I've already had this, tasted it before, so I'm not going to pretend I haven't had it before, but it is very good. Let's give it a whirl. Cheers. Definitely hops are up front here. I can taste a slight pumpkin taste. Can't really detect the honey much, but there is fermentation, fermentable quality to the honey, so there's obviously some alcohol there because of it. But mostly what I'm getting here is hops. So it is a very, very nice hoppy beer using other things than malt. Pumpkin extract and honey. Actually, you know what? The aftertaste, I can taste the honey just a little bit. It's very much in the background. Very much, but it's a nice compliment to the beer. All in all, I would say this is an excellent recipe. You guys should try it. It's very hoppy, which I love. And this will probably clear up as time goes on. Not that that matters. But you can probably see the nice carbonation on the side of the glass there. And I'm really enjoying this. This is excellent beer. This is competition stuff. Good stuff. Nice lacing. Nice head retention there. Oh, yeah. I'm going to enjoy this very, very much. Thank you, Brewthirty, for sending this package to me and allowing me to try this. I'm starting to taste the honey a little bit now in the background there. And the pumpkin is there. The hops are what really comes through. And if you probably let this sit for a little while, maybe the hops would die down a bit and you'd taste the background flavors a little more. But I don't necessarily want that to happen. I enjoy hoppy beers. Well, guys, listen, thanks for watching. And another easy home brew video is in the can. Cheers.